All right, we are now joined on the Sharks Audio Network by Noah Gregor, coming fresh off a new contract with the San Jose Sharks. Noah, good to see you, man, and congratulations on the new deal.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good to see you too.
Yeah, man. I suppose like the rest of us, because it's directly involving you. But I was getting a little nervous. I was like, "Where's the deal for Noah Gregor?" So I guess it must be nice to finally have this kind of all taken care of, because this is the one part of professional sports life that they don't really talk a lot about. It's about the games. It's about the goals. It's about that day to day stuff. They don't say like, "Oh, well, your agent and the team are gonna have to go over this stuff." So I suppose this is kind of like, well, this is the literal business side of it.
Yeah, I mean it's not the most fun part of the game, having to go through your agent and try and hear what they're saying with the Sharks organization. But I'm happy to get a deal done. It's nice to have a little more time than I had last summer getting my deal done. It's nice to get it done, and I think it was a couple weeks ago now. So lots of time to get set for the season.
I was looking back at last year for you, man, and don't take this the wrong way, but I was like, how did Noah Gregor only have 8 goals and 15 assists? And then I remembered, I was like, oh, yeah, you were snake bit like nobody's business. Like the amount of times you hit the post, whereas like every other guy in the league would get that bounce in, you would not. Like, was that driving you crazy, or would you just have to forget about it? Because, like, and I talked to your boy Mario about this last week. I was like, hockey is a game that rewards hard work. You were out there working your ass off, but you weren't getting rewarded like you should have been.
Yeah, I think last season was it was frustrating at times, but I think it also showed me a lot about myself and how you have to just overcome situations like that. I obviously thought I could have produced a little more offense than I did. It felt like most nights I was getting one or two good looks tonight, and I think in the NHL, if you're doing that, you're playing the right way, and good things should happen. But for the most part, it didn't last year. Only scoring 8 goals when I had a ton of chances, but worked on some things this summer, and looking forward to this year and hopefully getting some of those to go in.
So tell me about the work you've been doing this summer, because we last talked. You were in Finland at the Worlds, and that was a while ago, man. And I would imagine for you, you're probably itching to get back out there on the ice and put these new, things that you've been working on to work, literally. So what, tell me about your summer training, your work on the ice, all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, summer training has been pretty similar to most off seasons. I have my trainer here in Edmonton that I've been working with for a long time, so that not much has changed there. And then on the ice, doing a lot of goalie shooting, trying to find ways to score a little more.
Mm-hmm.
Doing a lot of skill sessions to just to try and give myself confidence in practice and scoring in practice first, and then hopefully that translates to the games.
In terms of like anything you were specifically working on over the summer, like do you assess your game? Do you say like, oh, I need to be better, in this area or that area, or are you always trying to bring up every aspect of your game?
Yeah, I think any player would say that they're trying to improve their game as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
I think consistency was one thing that I worked on a lot last year, and I think I did improve on that. That's always something that you want to get better at as a young guy in the league. You realize how hard it is to be an impact player every night, or be at your best 8 or 9 times out of 10, and not just 4 nights out of 10. You can't expect perfection, but the guys that are doing it 8 or 9 times out of 10 games are guys that are successful in this league.
You're obviously known as one of the fastest dudes out there on the ice in every single game you play in. How much work goes into trying to, I guess, kind of focus that speed, or is that just something that you don't really want to mess with? It's just kind of like it's there. That's not something that's going to leave your game. Or do you try and do more drills at trying to work on things when you are, going close to full speed?
Yeah, I think how you said it at the end is something that I need to work on, is translating those high speed uh how can I even say it? When I'm traveling at high speeds, trying to incorporate my hands to make it move in tight, that those chances might not have went in last year. So trying to do some skill work, and then like I said, working on goalies is to work on when I'm at those top speeds to try and create plays and help the puck go in the net.
Do you have to kind of slow down to speed back up when you're working on that stuff? Like, do you have to bring it down a couple of notches just to kind of get, not fundamentals because you're far beyond that, but I would imagine there's probably something that you can identify and be like, I need to be smoother with this transition, or I need to be cleaner setting up my shot working at high speed. So does that mean you have to take a step back to thusly take a step forward?
Yeah, a little bit, and that's honestly something me and Mike Ricci worked a little bit on our last season, was just slowing my game down. And sometimes I'd rush plays when I didn't need to be rushed, or I would rush a shot when I felt like a guy was on me, but when I look back at the video, I had more room than I thought. So that's something that I've realized in my game and I'm trying to improve on.
What's the goal for you this year?
I think it's to build off the end of the season I had. I thought I was playing some really solid hockey. That gave me some confidence going into the World Championships, where I thought I continued that as well. And just trying to be a solid player for the Sharks this season. I think I can provide a lot of speed, some grit, and chip in offensively when I can.
What do you think of all the changes that have gone on with the franchise this summer? Obviously, right towards the end of the year, that's when Doug Wilson announced he was stepping down. And then, there's been the hiring of Mike Grier. Let's start there. A former player, he's the man in charge now.
Yeah, a lot of changes. Kind of the first time I've really experienced big changes like this in an organization where it's almost top to bottom. New coaching staff and new management. With Mike coming in, he's made quite a few moves already. It sucked to see Burnsy leave, but that's something that had to be done, and we're looking forward to the new group we have and all the players we've added, and then of course with the new coaching staff as well. So it's exciting. It should be a fun time to get down to San Jose and shake everyone's hand and meet everyone. So I'm excited.
Have you talked to Grier yet?
Yeah, I've talked to Gregor just a little bbit after I signed my contract, but nothing, not too much yet.
Nice. What about Coach Quinn?
Not yet. Haven't talked to Quinn, but he shot me a text when I signed.
Nice. Do you know guys who had worked with him or played with him before?
I know of Brett Howden, played with him in New York. I played junior with him for a few years, so he said that he's a hard-working coach. He really values hard work and wants his teams to play fast and always have that work ethic. And if you do that, he's a really fair coach and will provide guys with the opportunities if it's earned.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of people have talked about that hardworking aspect, but I think that plays to a lot of the strength that's on your guys' team. And last year, it wasn't just you who wasn't getting rewarded for the hard work. I felt like you guys game in, game out were putting forth really good efforts. And unfortunately, it wasn't going your way. And that's not, that can't be put on just one person. You can't blame Brent Burns. You can't blame Noah Gregor. You can't blame, you go down the list. It's like everybody was working hard. And I feel like there should be a pendulum swing this year. Like the amount of hard work, if you guys carry that over from last year to this year, it feels like there should be more better results. We don't know if that'll happen because that's sports, but it does feel like if you guys continue in the trend with the way you worked last year, that it should be trending in a more positive direction, at least.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that, one thing about our team last year was that there wasn't very many nights where we came into the room and thought we could have worked a little harder tonight. That's one thing with our team, is that we pride ourselves on hard work, and I think it starts at the top of our best players, and they are always our hardest workers, and I think that trickles down a lot. And then seeing the guys we added and brought in, they're all hardworking guys from playing against them on their former teams. They play the right way and they play the way we want to play. So I think if we can continue that and maybe tweak some other things to help us win some more games, I think our team's right there.
It's interesting because, last year you guys were you had so many 1-goal or overtime losses, things of that nature, or it's a 1-goal game and they get an empty netter late. But, it never looked like that the team was nobody was ready to to cannibalize themselves, right? Like there was no implosion happening. I remember one time they showed it was Couture and Burns and Carlson were all kind of, barking at each other on the bench. But I'm like, if it was my teammates, I'd be upset if they weren't reacting to something. Like, you want to see those guys trying to fight and battle each other and be like, hey, you got to make this play. You got to be here. You got to do that. Because if the team wasn't doing that, if guys weren't reacting, that'd be a worse sign, right? Like, nobody wants to be on a team where guys are just resigned to defeat.
Yeah. I mean, arguments happen all the time within a team. I think that shows that guys care and that guys want to win. I think last year was frustrating for a lot of guys, just in the sense that we were so close in so many games and just didn't quite get the outcome we wanted. So I think, if we continue the way we can play, like I said, with a few tweaks, I think we can win definitely a lot more games than we did last year.
What did you think of Thomas Bordeleau when he came on last year? Because it seemed like you guys had a pretty good connection, obviously wildly different games, but it seemed like you kind of locked in on him and he kind of locked in on you. I mean, obviously line mates, that's going to happen, but it seemed like there was a very natural complementary aspects of your game and his game.
Yeah, I think me, Boards, and Rudy work pretty well together. I think Bordeleau is, he's obviously a really smart and skilled player, and he plays the game, different than me. I'm a pretty straight line guy, so I think being maybe a little simpler of a player was able to, make his reads a little easier because he knew where I was going to go. If he wanted to lay a puck in, he knew I was going to be able to get there and be able to get into areas for him to make his skillful passes and plays like that. So, I'm excited to see how Boards is coming into camp here, and if we have a chance to play together again, that'd be great.
Yeah, is it hard that like fans, like the fan base wants a Thomas Bordeleau to be able to make that jump? They want every young player to be able to make that jump, but do you not want pressure on some of these young guys like a Boards, like an Eklund, where people are kind of just waiting for them to be ahead of schedule and take that next jump in their careers? Like, do you advise, if you were to talk to Thomas today, would you say like, be patient, like don't get down if they do start you on the year at the AHL level? Because players, regardless of talent level, there is development that needs to happen.
Yeah, no, for sure. And, it's a tricky thing. I'm glad I'm not the guy that has to make those decisions, because they're both NHL players. They're both going to play in the NHL. In my mind, they're skilled enough to play. They're fast enough to play. So if they come into camp and are blowing the doors over, I think they'll give their organization no opportunity to send them down. But if they do end up being in the minors, there's nothing wrong with that. The majority of NHL players start in the minors, and if you do well, you'll get rewarded with a call up. You just can't get down. You've got to work on your game if you are down there, and do your best to get back up.
In terms of training camp, how long do you think it'll take you guys to all kind of get to learn each other as a team? I mean, obviously a lot of returning members, but new guys as well. And it's been so different for you over the last couple of years because you've had COVID and, new guys coming in, and there's just been, last year was relatively normal. And then this year is probably going to be as close to normal as we've had since you were drafted back in 2016, I guess you first, started coming up. This is going to be about as normal as it gets.
Yeah, I think that's good for a lot of guys, is just to have that sense of normalcy in a training camp and getting in and getting used to the new coaching staff. So I'm sure that they'll have some new views for our team and some stuff they want to put into place. I think it'll be good for our team, and I hope we respond the right way, because we have a quick trip to Europe to just smoothing things out and get to work.
Yeah, are you looking forward to going on that European trip, man? I mean, obviously you're going to be put through the ringer in terms of the time zones. You could be a little jet lagged when you get back. That's, in my opinion, I'd be like, hey, get to go play and expose myself and the Sharks to a whole new fans who don't usually get a chance to see us. Like, it seems like a pretty cool opportunity.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited to have that chance to play in another country and let those those countries witness what an NHL game is like and what NHL players are like. So I'm super excited. Never been to Germany or Czech Republic, so I'm super excited to check out what those cities have to offer and get the season off to a good start.
By the way, just while we're talking Europe, how was the overall experience in Finland for you earlier this? I guess this was last spring now.
Yeah, it was great. I had a lot of fun. Met a lot of new players. Pretty much, I don't think I knew anyone on the team going in. So a lot of new faces, a lot of new things, and then obviously just the first time being in Europe was another experience just in itself to see another country. My dad got to come over with me as well, so he really enjoyed it. I mean, a bit of a tough outcome in the gold medal game, come just one goal short in overtime. So that kind of the only downfall of the experience for me.
Obviously, you guys were in Finland. This was when the war with Russia and Ukraine was, breaking out kind of in its infancy. Was that talked about much with you guys?
Not a ton. There was, some small chats from kind of our team host that's from Finland, who said that there was some potential situations that could arise, but nothing that was, going to put our team or our players in danger. So nothing crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, obviously, you have a life outside of hockey. What's Noah Gregor up to when he's not at the rink, when he's not in the weight room, film room? I mean, did you, I imagine you get some chance to hang out with your friends, you go golfing, get some barbecuing in. What's your summer been like other than hockey?
This summer hasn't been too crazy for me. A lot of golf. I did a quick trip to Kelowna, a little lake town out in British Columbia. So that was a lot of fun. Saw some buddies there. Did another trip to Arizona. One of my friends here has a place in just kind of outside of Scottsdale. So I went down there, watched a couple Diamondbacks games. So that was fun as well. And other than that, yeah, just kind of chilling and hanging out with family and friends while I can.
Nice. When do you plan on getting back into the South Bay?
I would like to be there kind of, a week or 10 days before camp. Still have to figure out some living situations right now before camp. So I would like to be there, in a couple weeks. Get things.
And then were you happy for your boy Ferraro to get his new deal?
Yeah. I was super pumped for him. Me and him are pretty close. So shot him a FaceTime right when he signed, and he was pretty fired up to get a longer term deal, and a little bit of money doesn't hurt either. So good for him.
Money's a good thing. But Noah, man, thank you. Always appreciate chatting it up with you, man. Looking forward to everything you have on the table for you this year, man. Like I said, I don't think you're going to be nearly as snake bit this year, man. So I'm really excited for the upcoming season for you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I hope you're right. Thank you very much.